Hey YouTube, how's it going? Today I'm going to make a new video on the 150-gallon Venomous fish tank. This is a tank that I've been working on for the past how many months now, and it's just coming along really great. Things are doing well so far, no problems as far as dying or disease or anything like that, so far so good. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, that things don't turn around for the worst, but for right now things are looking pretty sweet. On top of that, we'll do some updates, I guess, on personal life. If you remember, my last relationship ended probably about the beginning of March, something like that. I got into a new relationship. I work with her, and if you're wondering how that's going, we're not talking for 3 days. So yeah, it's going well. Moving on. My glasses are broken again. Yeah, that's a problem. It's not what you're gonna want. So I'm just going to be blind for a couple more days until I get that problem fixed. But other than that, life's been okay, I guess. I've been a little bit busy, so I've been having a hard time getting back to comments and whatnot, so I've just now all of a sudden pulled out and saw that I had this list of comments I had to reply to, so I apologize to everyone that I kind of slacked off on when it comes to replies, but I'm getting there, working on everything, trying to get it all covered up. But I think this will be a little bit more exciting. This is kind of a bigger update, so I haven't shown this in a while, and a lot has changed. So, with that said, I don't think I've got none of the personal stuff I'm going to start with. We'll see how that relational thing goes, but maybe I goofed. I don't know. Maybe it'll go better. Maybe it'll go worse. Maybe it'll just stop, and it's only been about 2 weeks, and things are going pretty crappy. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So that's my life. That's my luck. That's my double luck. I have a lot of bad luck. Hopefully this stays better. I could use some good luck. So, with that all said, let's take a look at the 150. Alright, so here's the 150. Excuse the cords in the front. I'm trying to heat up the tank a little bit quicker, just because we're trying to treat it for some parasite problems. After one of the newer additions showed up, we had some ick show up, which was my bad, because I raised the salt level. I was going to bring it back up and keep more invertebrates in here, but you know what? Not worth the death toll that it could have caused, so hopefully that problem's fixed. But I mean, as you can tell, the layout of the tank has changed a little bit. We've got some more plastic decorations in there. It's just to spice it up a little bit. On top of that, we do have some feather dusters that are kind of spaced around sporadically because they've been thrown around by the looks of it, so I've probably got 2 that are tucked way back behind that rock yet. Unfortunately, with the venomous fish, anything that moves, they'll probably grab a hold of it and pick it up and move it for me, so yeah, that's the downside of that, but it was definitely just something me trying to spice up the tank a little bit with some more, I don't know, oddball kind of life, because you got the one feather duster, it's inside of the piece of live rock that's been around for a while, and he's just doing fine, so I figured why not, we'll add a few more and see how that goes. But with that said, as you can see as I'm panning across, there's a good amount of stock inside of this aquarium. We'll have to take a look. We'll have to take a look at everything individually here. We've got a whole bunch of sea goblins. For those of you who know me, you know that I love my sea goblins, as you've seen throughout my videos. I'm pretty sure I brought this up, but my favorite species of venomous fish are sea goblins. This guy right here is actually a Chinese stingfish, or a Chinese sea goblin. Going to be different than the other 3 or other 4. I think other 4. So you've got him. He's got more of an orange color on him, but he's just not out in the light. We've got a red-eye Hawaiian lionfish, a little bit more of a hard one to find, not very common. Eating frozen very well, got him off Live Aquaria. We've got a red volodin, so he's got a little bit more of a red coloring to him. It's not the usual kind of black and white or the black volodin either, so a little bit more red to him, but you don't notice it so much right now. You can see it on the ends of the fins. We've got another sea goblin. This is going to be the Didactys. So this is one of the more commonly found ones that you see on Live Aquarium and whatnot, which is what I try to really strive for, to get the more oddball kind of stuff like this guy. He's going to come out and show you in the light. The big difference to be able to tell is behind the side fins is a pattern, and that pattern will distinguish whether or not it is a certain species. There's like 6 different species of sea goblin out there, but everyone kind of classifies them all as the same as this Didactys. But you've got that Didactys. You've got this Didactys, which has more of a white face to him. You've got that Didactys, which is beautiful coloring. Obviously a lot different than the other 2. He's got a bright red coloring on him. The coloration on the back of the fins, I hope I can get a view of this, but the coloration on the back of the fins is just phenomenal. You can kind of see it right there. Just bright orange coloring, really cool looking, compared to the other guys that has a little bit more of a, these guys have more of a yellow coloring. I don't think we'll be able to get a good look at that. open, fingers crossed, if he goes up a little bit higher. And they have the ability to swim all the way up to the top of the tank. They're just being lazy. Oh, maybe we'll get a view. No luck, but as you can see, really cool looking fish. Oh, I see a wing back here. There we go. That's the pattern I'm talking about on the back of the fins. He's displaying for me. This is the big head honcho, I guess, of the tank. He's one of the larger sea goblins in the tank. I think that was all the sea goblins. You got the 1 didactys, you got the 2 didactys, you've got the 3 didactys, which is bright red, so he's a little bit easier to distinguish. You've got the 4 didactys, and you've got the Sinensis, which is the Chinese sea goblin, which generally are a lot more active than the didactys are. Personal experience. There he is. Look at that. Beautiful looking fish. I'm pretty sure this guy was shown in the acclimation video, how to acclimate your fish. But beautiful sea goblin. Alright, we'll move on. We'll get over that. We've got the squirrelfish, which is just a pain in the rear when it comes to feeding time because he's always stealing food from everyone else. But he's venomous, so he's in the tank. We've got some leaf fish. We've got 2 leaf fish in here. This guy's from Hawaii. He's got a little bit more red coloring to him. Not a whole lot. That one's from Hawaii. This one's from Indonesia. He's got yellow to him. You've got the, got the radiatal lionfish, or radiata lionfish. Just a little guy compared to the usual lionfish I'm dealing with. Big sea goblin's doing a little bit of a dance. We've got the ensenada lionfish, which has been around for a while. We've got the Mombosa lionfish. A lot more red to him. We've got the spotted Caribbean scorpionfish, which has been around for a while. He's in the, gosh, now I'm trying to remember what the name of the video was. It was like swapping your fish off of live or something like that. He's in that video or something. Way back when. What else do we got that's out and about? We've got the orange toadfish, which just popped his head out. I've had him for a while too. He's got a scar on the side of his face because he got stung by one of the sea goblins a while back, but he recovered, so that was a fight. That was a long fight. I was surprised he actually pulled through. We've got the California scorpionfish, which looks a lot like the Caribbean. Different style, and he's a lot more spunky. Look at that mess. Look at that mess of fish right there. Fantastic. I love this collection. It's my favorite. What else we got? Over here in one of the holding tanks, we've got, I'm going to get a light on him. Ooh, we've got a Russell's lionfish. Now, the difference between the Russells and the Volodin is the fins. As you can see on him, you can't see through those side fins. On the Volodin, he's got a little bit more clear spaces. You can kind of see through them, especially if you look up front here. You can see how they're a little bit more transparent than the Russells is. Wow, came right up front. It's like he knows. There's the red eye, a little bit more light so you can see him actually. Goes freaking insane though. That's obviously feeding time. But yeah, the Russells is just a little bit smaller than the Volodin, a little bit different coloration to him, but he's in here for right now because he was originally having some problems with parasites. He's been treated for and seems to be doing well. Yes, he's in the same setup. I know I'm going to get a lot of guff for this, but when it comes to treating for parasites and whatnot, I'd rather keep them inside the setup and treat the setup as a whole, because if your fish has ick, pulling it out of the aquarium is not going to make any much of a difference. The ick is already present inside of the aquarium. You might as well just treat it. So I brought down the salinity, I raised the temperature, I gave him a freshwater dip just in case he had any kind of infections, which his eyes were clouded up, which could have been something else. Could have been, I think it's called Brostinellus or something like that. Brostinellus hostilis. It's a Latin name for some sort of a, I gotta remember. It's a bug. It's a bug that infects the skin, and it messes with the fish, and it's a very good killer. It's a bunch of little tiny little parasites, and they just kill the fish. So it's a lot more deadly than ick is, and if not treated correctly or on time, can cause you a lot of problems. So a freshwater dip will usually kill those parasites that are on the body and just messing with the skin. They're not necessarily bored in like ick is, similar to that of a tick. They're just kind of sitting there on the skin. So a freshwater dip will usually kill them. I freshwater dip him for about 5 minutes. I think I did that 2 times last week, and he seems to do just fine. His eyes are all cleared up. He looks fine. So he'll probably go back into the main setup with the rest of them probably in the next week or so. But yeah, that's the collection. As you can tell, I mean, it's one heck of a collection. It's probably the most venomous tank in the state of Wisconsin, and I'm saying that as far as assortment-wise goes. I'm not necessarily saying that if someone's got like a whole bunch of volatile lionfish, well, that's kind of cheating. I mean, when it comes to assortment, I definitely have probably one of the more venomous tanks out there in the state, so, or at least I'd like to believe that. I'd like to have that ego. I worked hard on this tank, and worked hard to keep it healthy and everything, so... Oops, sorry, finger in the way of the camera here. Still recording off the iPhone, as you can tell, but it seems like people had a good response on that last time. I figured we might as well just keep it, so... Which I appreciated the feedback that it did have, so... That's the 150. That's really about all I can show. There's not much else to it. We do have this other holding tank, has a little tiny scorpion in it yet. It does not have a correct identification on it just yet. But he is from the Caribbean. We do have some ideas. We're going to wait till he gets a little bit bigger. So he's probably about 2 inches right now. And he'd be a quick snack. But as you can tell, just acts like a little dog, just coming up to the camera. So, very cool fish. One of my favorite tanks that I've probably ever worked with. So, but that's the 150, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'll keep you updated as I can. And I'll see you all next time.